Welcome back to part 2 with Matt Gold from Drop a Gear Industries, Ben from Dirt Subies, and Raph from the Subi and You podcast. Lightning round edition, where we discuss most important Subaru, most underrated, and delete one forever. Then we tear into marketplace red flags, green flags, and the deals that should have come with a warning label. Buckle up. I just wanted to pivot here. I wanted to just throw a lightning round of questions at you guys and give everybody a chance to answer. So we're going to go from my screen clockwise. We're going to go Dave, Matt, Ben, Raph, and then myself. So I'm going to ask you guys a question. Just first thing that comes to your mind, I want to know what your answer is. So Dave, most important Subaru ever.
Oh shit. I would. Immediately thought I'm torn between the Impreza or the Outback. I think both were really instrumental in their own kind of formidable ways, and not discrediting any other models. The Foresters are big there too. Legacy is obviously paved a way, but I think the Impreza really moved Subaru into a modern era. And obviously the whole WRX, everything's built off that platform. And then obviously the Outback is just synonymous. I mean, the original 90s commercials of the Australian what was it, Crocodile Dundee and everything. Like that was just great.
All right, Dave, lightning round. You pick one car, the rest get nuked off the face of the planet. Pick a car.
It's Outback.
Okay.
All right, I'm biased.
Matt, most important Subaru ever.
And all the rest are getting nuked. That's it.
The factory is on fire. You get to save one car, and you're gonna have to Mad Max it through the rest of the apocalypse.
Don't say that Tribeca. don't say the Tribeca.
No, that one's already on fire.
Yeah.
It's definitely the it's definitely the Loyal wagon.
Okay. Ben,
from a bringing the brand mainstream, the Outback. There's no question about it. In my opinion, that's what made them a household name. But the Legacy, dude, I think the Legacy is sick. What was that crazy test they did where they ran them like 72 hours straight way back, like 88 or 89?
Oh, yeah.
I'd have to look it up. But
I think that was the first gens. Yep.
Yeah, the first gen Legacy. I think that was, even when they were just this weird little quirky brand, I remember being a kid. I saw people driving those. I still remember it. So from that kind of perspective, yeah, the Legacy. And that's where they birthed the Outback from anyways.
Yeah, I agree. Raph, what do you think?
2008 Outback.
2008, very specific.
Yeah. When I went out to Colorado, which was my first off-road trip, ripped Java wagon,
baby.
Yeah, he had the 2008 Outback, and I fell in love with it then. Just the way that he had it modded out. And then every time I see like that generation Outback, I'm just like, I love it. There's a few of them around here where I live, and I love that body style. And like, I would love to have one of those one day, just to have one. I don't know. I love it.
Yeah. I would say the 22B. I think that, for Subaru, like, yes, the Outback and the Legacy put them on the map, but like none of us would be here if Colin McRae wasn't an absolute crack addict on a rally track. I think that like while the Subaru got the brand behind it and got people interested in the brand, I think that he brought the enthusiasts and the fans. And I think that that's where everything just kind of went off the rails. People were going out to see him rip it. These cars were just insane. I think that he also pushing the cars to their max led Subaru to learn a lot of things about their brand and then use that to then continue the Impreza line and make the current cars that we drive today. I think that if he wasn't driving them like an insane bat out of hell, they wouldn't have learned so many things so fast, So I think that then going in to compete with them was great. And I think that car was like instrumental. So,
well, fun fact, he drove all three of the cars that they used in rally.
Yeah.
He started with the Legacy, then he moved to the Impreza.
Yep.
He even drove a Vivio.
Yep. Yeah.
To the max on every single one of them.
Yeah.
Yes. Always to the max. Flat out. flat out.
Did he drive the Pro Drive bug eye?
Uh,
I can't remember if that was
the one that I have sitting behind me though is Mackinnon.
okay. Yeah, I think it was after him, or maybe he didn't. I don't know. But all right,
He might have drove it a little bit there, obviously, after they, after the GC stuff was kind of done.
He drove things we never even knew existed.
yeah.
That's true. I mean, for the longest time, people didn't know about the Vivio that he drove one of those. So
yeah,
I brought that lore to the front again.
we're gonna loop back to Dave. Dave, what is the most interesting Subaru?
That's tough.
Yeah,
I hate to say it, but it's also the most asinine one. It's the Tribeca. I mean, if you want to somehow define that as interesting, it's interesting, all right, in a lot of ways, because everything is effing wrong. Everything's just wrong about it, and it's kind of an interesting, I think, exploration into what can go wrong and what did go wrong with that whole experiment, and the fact that they had 2 generations of Tribeca. Yeah, they just went from bad to worse. I think that's the most interesting if you have to put me on the spot.
okay. Matt,
The XT.
XT,
Good
huh?
one.
XT6.
That dude, that dash, the 2-spoke steering wheel, the front end that like is a it looks like a doorstop from the side. Let's
It
be
does.
real. It's a doorstop.
Can you imagine getting hit by one of those?
Well,
Like a snowplow.
all I can think of
Yeah.
is which one of the Fast movies or whatever it was where the guy had the like car that just like launched you,
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that's exactly what it is. You just drive underneath it and they just launch up over top of you.
Yeah,
Doorstop.
That's a good one.
yeah.
I want one. I don't know why. Maybe it's because Bucky Lassick has one.
You should have bought ours. We sold one.
Listen, with the amount of cars that I'm buying right now, no, I can't. I'll add it to my list though.
Yeah.
We'll find you one.
Ben?
It's between the XT6 and the SVX. I think the SVX encapsulates everything that was
Bizarre.
early 90s. Yeah, early 90s design with those
Yeah.
weird those like half window things they did, the interior. And I think the EG33 is such a sick engine. Like,
Yeah.
It was
prime
fun.
time.
Yeah, as soon as you said that, I thought the XT as well, because it's like the funkiest Subaru that I think I've ever seen. And
It got the least love.
yeah, they're just,
Yeah.
they look like a spaceship inside. And, it's
Yeah.
almost like,
They feel like
looks
it
like-
too.
yeah, it looks like what they thought a car would look like in the future is what it
Yeah.
kind of
Yes.
is like their styling of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things I like about it is like, this is what cars will look like in 30 years or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the
And they don't.
DeLorean,
Yeah, they-
Thankfully.
Yeah.
I stumbled upon quite a while ago the Subaru Swiren. I don't know if you guys have
Ooh,
ever
that's
seen
sick.
this.
No.
That's sick.
Nice.
That's uglier than a mother effer, and I need it.
Yeah.
That's worse than a Tribeca, and I
It's-
want one.
What was that weird
It
little
looks like the
Geo
Isuzu.
SUV?
It looks like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Isuzu.
So here I'll show you.
It
There's
looks like a
video.
Isuzu
Baja
Swan.
with a top on it. It looks like a Baja with a topper on it.
So it is a Swiren it was in between a Brat and the Baja, and it was a 1993 two-door Impreza pickup with a detachable
Well, that
rear
does
camper
come off.
shell.
The back, okay,
Yeah.
it does come off.
And
Yeah, what?
Okay. You know what else, Pat? Have you looked at any of the strange non-US ones? Did you ever look up the Casablanca?
Yeah, those are
Yeah.
totally weird.
Those are cool.
The front of it looks like the Isuzu Vehicross. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like
yes.
it. I like it though. I like it.
Yeah, the second I saw one of these, I've always wanted to see one in person. It's just the most wild looking thing I've ever seen, and I just feel like this is definitely like a Subaru one-off, like very interesting car. So
Have you guys ever seen the Suzuki X90 or whatever it's called? If you look one of those up, the X90, it
Let me
looks
see.
like that thing got in bed with a
Yes.
legacy wagon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's such a narrow wheelbase.
Yeah.
Like just
Oh,
looking
yeah,
at it, you're
I've
like,
seen
oh my
those.
God, it's going to roll over.
Yeah, dude.
It's so
That's-
funky looking.
Yeah, that's gangster. I need one.
Yeah.
So there's a trend. There's a trend
Oh,
right
no
now.
way. I've seen one of these ones.
People are taking these things. They're taking these.
Uh-huh.
They're also getting the old Suzuki sidekicks
Samurai.
and the Suzuki Samurais, and they're doing
Those
like
are cool.
crazy off-road things with
Yeah.
those things.
Toyota axle swaps and 22 REs, baby. That's running propane.
God, the bulletproof motor of death.
Yeah.
I got a story about that.
It made all of like 80 horsepower, but dude, they're still running today, man.
I had a lady bring me her Toyota pickup with a 22 RE in it. It leaked oil from every possible bolt in the engine. It was starting to die. I pulled
It's
the
fine. It's
intake
fine.
off.
It's fine.
I pulled the intake off. The runners are this big around, right? The effective runner was this big
Just
because
cake
of the
with oil?
carbon buildup. No, the
Oh,
carbon
fudge.
buildup from it sucking in. Basically, it was basically breathing in its own oil. And I cleaned that thing out. It took me a week and a half to clean that intake out. I think I bought a 5-gallon bucket of carb cleaner and just dunked the intake in it for like a day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I put
as
that
well.
thing back together and it fired right up, and I never heard that engine run so beautifully in my life. I was like, oh my God, but it ran to the absolute limit of like, hey, you did that on anything else, it would have been like, I'm done. Bye.
Yeah.
I quit.
I got one more question for you guys. Most underrated Subaru. So,
What the
Dave, we'll start
fudge?
with you.
Ooh, that's an interesting
Tribeca.
one because obviously it's a juxtaposition. The Outback doesn't fall into that category at all. I think the most underrated one, I'm gonna go out and just say it. It's the Baja. I think they didn't sell. They were ahead of their time. That was a prime candidate for if I mean, look at what is it? Hyundai just came out with that like Santa Cruz,
Santa Fe
Yeah.
Santa
I know.
Fe,
or Santa Cruz. Yeah.
Yeah.
Santa Claus, hybrid crossover thingy with a little truck bed. Like, Ford came out with the Maverick, which Patrick already knows I'm really, really triggered because my grandfather proudly left me a 75 Ford Maverick, which I have in my garage. And it's a car. Can anyone believe that? The original Maverick was a car. 4
I have
doors
scripts
or
for it.
2-door options. And now they're like, you know what? We're going to make it a truck. So it's kind of like if Dodge Neon said, we're going to make a Dodge Neon truck.
The Mach
So-
E that they did. What's up with that?
Yeah. But I think the Baja is my contender of most underrated that like, I don't think it really got its heyday. I think if they, and we've all seen the renderings and the teaser, AI trailers of like what a modern day Baja would be. But I think the Baja really was, it was the iteration of the Brat, as we all know, and it just modernized it. And so I think there could be a modernization of that. It'd have to get bigger, obviously, because, they can't make anything small anymore, heaven forbid. But I think I would go with the Baja as my candidate.
Okay. What about you, Matt?
Sorry, I'm going with my Vivio.
Ah, yes.
Listen. They took a car, right? It's a cake. It's a little key car. So the problem is like it's already undersized for everything, right? But then Subaru said, let's just max it out, right? We're going to go to the maximum CC size that we could possibly squeeze out of this thing, which is 658 out of 660. But then on top of it, we're going to be like, you know what? Why don't we compete with the Suzuki Alto? Because they put a turbo on theirs. Well, we're going to put a supercharger on ours, but we're also going to make it all-wheel drive. Like, it performs exactly as you would think an all-wheel drive car. Well, I should say it handles the way you think an all-wheel drive car would, but it has its quirks. And you almost have to like drive it to really understand just what Subaru made in that car, because it revs out to 9,000 RPM.
Yeah.
And if you scream this thing out to 9,000 RPM, you are doing the maximum speed that it can possibly do, which is 80 mile an hour. And you haven't even put it into fifth gear yet. It still has another gear, but now it's just to make it so that you're not at 9,000 RPM and you're at 6.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's just me. I guess I'm a little biased.
Oh man, Ben, what do you think?
We're all
Most
convincing
underrated.
each other in a weird way. I feel like.
Yeah, yeah.
For me, I think it's first gen legacy turbos. I don't think that car got nearly enough love until they were all rotted out and dead. The EJ22T, probably
That's
one
true.
of the strongest blocks, arguably, maybe not, but super strong from the factory. This guy looks like he might have a different
right.
opinion, but
I don't
love
have a
those
different.
cars.
I'm saying
I
you're
don't
right.
have a
They just
different
aged.
opinion.
They just
Yeah.
aged out.
I actually would raise you the twin turbo one.
Even better, but we never got those here,
we
so I
have
don't know
one at my
anything
shop
about
right
them.
now, the twin turbo Legacy. Yeah,
my buddy
you'd
has
love it,
one, the
Ben.
GTB.
Dude, I feel like it was such a bummer. I mean, when was it that we finally got another turbo Subaru in the States, man? It wasn't until the
2002.
Bug-Eye came out? Yeah.
2002.
Yeah, man, it was the last, turbocharged Subaru all the way up into the next decade, man. I think they're underrated.
100%. Raph, what about you? What do you think?
Subaru Justy.
Ooh,
okay.
let's go, dude.
That's my cousin.
Okay.
That's my Vivio's cousin.
The only reason I say that, because I mean, I don't know a lot of the older Subarus, or I kind of know more of the modern stuffs, and as some of you may know, like when I bought my Crosstrek back in September of 2020, I knew very little about Subaru, and I still know very little about Subaru as far as like my knowledge compared to all of you guys. But when I went to 48 Hours of Tri-State back in January of 2024, there was this kid who was actually, I think he was from Houston, but they had moved somewhere else. But he and his dad and I think his mom and sister maybe, they were all I think they were all in a Suburban, but the son was driving a Justy. He drove it from New Jersey to the Subaru plant in Indiana. And we were on like these long highways up and down, and he was falling behind, but he did a pretty good job keeping up with everybody. And that thing was, it was pretty old, and he was like, running out of gas before everybody else. But I mean, that thing was pretty impressive that it made it all that way, and he didn't really have any issues with it.
I think it's awesome that you brought up the Justy, because that's the US equivalent of my Vivio.
Gotcha. Nice.
They look so much like the Fiestas of that era.
Yeah.
And I just remembered, because I looked it up to remember what years those were out. Dude, they didn't have a boxer motor in them either, which is absolutely wild.
Yeah.
Little three banger? Dude, what?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
1.3 liter.
Crazy.
Not all-wheel drive.
Yeah, dude. Good call, Raph. That's a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mine is kind of obvious in a way that, like, I feel like people have just forgotten about this car. I never hear anybody talk about it. I never see them anymore. But the Legacy Spec B,
My God.
Wait, baby, let's go.
I feel like the Legacy Spec B is so underrated because if you got the JDM one, it came with a twin scroll. And at the time, not many cars were running twin scrolls. So you had a Legacy that was able to get off the line, not only super quick because it was all wheel, but it had a twin scroll in it. So the low end was super quick to spool up. It was just such a fast car. And they only made 1,400 of them. So like, I find it so insane that like, that car existed and almost I never hear about them. I feel like the Spec Bs were here and like you heard about them a little bit when they were here and then like they just poof, they're gone. It's like, it's kind of crazy like how that happened.
It's because if you look into it, the Legacies were built for the luxury side in that era.
Yeah.
But they also it's the same reason that the GTB, the twin turbo Legacy in the 90s didn't really sell as much, because they couldn't make it better than their flagship Impreza.
Sure.
And it was the same thing. It was the same thing with the Legacies, and even with the Legacy GTs with the the non-twin scrolls.
Did you guys also know that Subaru has an infamous history of testing things out? So with the 2005 to 2008
That's true.
Subaru Outback and Legacy GT, they all had an EJ255 turbo. And guess what came in the 2008 through 14 WRX? An EJ 255 turbo. What I found funny was that if anyone ever took one of those and said, you know what, 2000, 9, 10, 11, I blew my WRX engine. You guys don't know how to build an engine. Well, that's interesting because we have this customer with a 2008 Outback XT with almost 200,000 miles on it now, and he never modified it. He never boosted it or he never did anything else but drive it stock because he bought top tier Outback because that's what they marketed those to. No one really wanted an Outback. And fun fact too, to this point, the Subaru Outback has a whole air baffle. I call it a goiter on the bottom of the airbox. That
The snorkus?
that the bypass valve dumps into the air intake, the air inlet. And so it's meant to dampen the sound because if someone drove a 2005 Subaru Outback XT limited premium off the lot and they drove away going, they're bringing it right back to the dealer. They're going, something's wrong with the car. It's leaking air.
Yeah.
But now,
100%.
Squeaks when I shift.
Yes, the WRX got rid of that air box, that goiter on the bottom. Okay. The STI took it one step further. They actually took a hose. They plumbed it in from the air box. They plumb it all the way in to the actual behind the dashboard. So you can hear that bypass valve on an STI. It's the loudest. WRX is the middle ground and the lowest is always going to be the Outback legacy platform because people don't want to hear noise. So that's Subaru's lineage. They've done the same thing with 2004 Forester turbos. They never made an Outback turbo back then, but the XTs, they did the same thing as a testing ground. Famously, WRXs did not get direct injection till after the Impreza did. They wanted to test it.
Interesting.
They wanted to make sure this direct injection worked. Subaru has a very famous
fails.
history of testing things out. And you can see that with, like I said, the best example ever is that generation. But another tangent to that or side note to that is the 2010, 09 and 10 exclusively legacy. Anyone know about that one? The GT?
No.
It was a turbo EJ, but it had a turbo mounted like an F motor on the bottom front of the motor. Had a whole everything on that motor is proprietary. The gaskets for it, everything. It's
after the facelift or after they changed to that next generation with the interesting headlights.
They only did them for 2 years. The 09 and 10 Legacy GT. It's a weird hodgepodge. The thing looks ugly as shit. Sorry to say it, but those things are total sleepers. And they come with factory 6 speeds.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
It's 10 and 11. That's 09 was still the old body style, if I remember right, in the US,
well,
right?
It crossed over right then.
It's literally just like an FA
10
looking engine.
Yeah, it's literally, it's a weird EJ, but it looks like an FJ. It's like, wait, that was the crossover. That was the literal split before they went F motor. And that engine in that car somehow got stuck in the middle. And they were like, what do we do with this thing? And so they kind of made this weird hodgepodge. Like, annoyingly, we call them, it's one of the infamous Subaru unicorns because they didn't make very many of them. They didn't sell very many of them. Not many people bought many of them, and not many of them exist.
Yeah.
That's
I like
crazy.
that car a lot.
It's blowing my mind just looking at it. It's
a weird car.
It's like, you know what? I should probably, just so you guys can see, I'll put it on the screen.
It's got those satanic headlights that you can't change the bulbs on without.
So here's the turbo. So it's literally right here.
But if you look at it, that's an EJ motor.
Yeah.
It's not an F motor.
God, I would hate to do the
plastic timing cover, timing belt, water pump, everything. It's an EJ. But it's not.
That's crazy. Wow.
And it's got the whole charge pipe and everything.
Yeah.
It has its own manifold. It doesn't share anything with any other car or any other platform. It's just that engine and that car.
That's it. I'm calling it the FJ now.
Here's a pet peeve of mine. And I understand the logic of putting the turbo in the front and the bottom for gravity, weight distribution. But I've always wondered why they didn't just put the stupid turbo right down next to the side of the trans. so that you get the lower, right? But the motor would just feed it instantly, and then it could just go straight up into an intercooler or right into the engine.
And backwards into the intake, almost like flip your intake, man.
Right.
Or
Like you've built this car for so long with the intake facing the freaking firewall. Now, why are you putting the turbo farther away from it?
And then routing it and doing a 180 and coming from the front.
Like why did you put the turbo here, go up, back, and then 180 back around?
Right.
You know, up into the intercooler and then back down. Like, why wouldn't you just put the turbo? Like, you already had the turbo behind the engine before. Now, maybe it was because of the dreaded cylinder 3 cooling mods that everybody's had to do because of the heat. But put the thing lower, put it down near the trans tunnel, put it down in the, it's going to capture the airflow from underneath the car. And now it just flows up.
Those are the manufacturers that have done that too.
I mean, yeah, manufacturers are starting to put turbos on top of the engines, and then they don't dip right back around.
See, I always had an issue.
I'm surprised they're not putting them inside engines.
I always had
don't give them any ideas, Dave.
I had that issue with that turbo being mounted in the front because that's what the Evos always did. They had that front mounted turbo, and you get an fender bender, and you could end up crushing your whole turbo. And I always hated that. I hated the thought of that. And like now that I have a front mounted turbo on my WRX, I'm like, oh man, like I look under there and, with the external wastegates and the dump tubes and stuff, like, it's not far off the ground and I'm on the stock suspension. So I'm like real scared.
And it's funny you say that,
makes you feel any better,
even
Patrick,
rallying.
Every car is getting higher. So you're just going to hit and go underneath them. Like we were saying earlier. And so you won't even hit your turbo. It's just going to like take out your windshield, but so duck.
Yeah.
But see, no, but I agree with Pat though, right? If I was going to build a newer WRX or STI, well, not necessarily the STI because it still has the EJ and the turbo in the right spot. But if I was to use a newer WRX, which there's guys out there rallying those cars.
Yeah.
Hello, if you go down Yuck Tanny stage and you case that landing wrong, your
turbo's
is
done
eating the pavement.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why'd you DNF?
Shout out to primitive skid plates.
Great idea. Yeah. Why'd you DNF? Well, the Subaru thought it'd be a great idea to put the turbo under the engine in the impact zone.
Yeah. Do you want that street primitive skid plate, or do you want the rally tough one? You want the rally tough one.
Rally
Let me
tough
tell you.
3/16, baby.
Yes.
Crazy.
All day.
Man.
So I just wanted to pivot one last time here. So I wanted to go around and ask each of you a different question. I'm going to give you two options, and you have to pick between both of these options and determine if you want to kill one or the other. So
is this? Oh God, this sounds like a dating game.
Ben, we're going to start with you.
All right.
Would you kill the Forester or the Legacy?
Well, I'd kill the Legacy in today's market. Even though it's my favorite Subaru, pretty much the Forester.
This is all time though. I'm saying like delete one of these.
I'm still gonna say the Legacy because I mean, dude, as soon as the SF came out, it took what the Legacy wagon did for people and made it better.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's true.
And then the SG, I think the SG is a fantastic platform. Not a huge fan of the SHs, but they're growing on me. But dude, I love them. I love them, and I think they work for a lot of people. They meet everybody's need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Raph. Would you keep the EJs or the FAs?
You're asking the guy who knows nothing about engines.
Well, that's a good point.
That is a good point.
All right, how about this? I'll give this one to Dave. Dave, EJ or FA?
That's fair. I'm not even gonna hesitate. I'm gonna say EJ all day. I think maybe that's just comfortability. I mean, we have, so many years, with the EJ and that platform and understanding it and developing it. And I think there's still, as the expression goes, money left on the table with the EJ. I think people are really pushing the boundaries here in the last several years with what they're doing with closed decking. And obviously closed decking is not new, but what's happening nowadays with what people are able to do with manufacturing and closed decking is really pushing the levels of what an EJ can do. And again, just I cry familiarity. I also don't have upper oil pan O-rings that smoke my motor and mix oil and coolant. So
You know what?
EJ.
You know what? I would challenge to
For
say
life.
that I think that the FA is the future. I think that the EJs are done. I honestly think that like
come on, let's go, Pat.
Oh,
Let's go.
yeah.
Let's go. We're fighting.
I think the FA20 was like a stepping stone to the FA24, and like
I agree.
From everything that I'm hearing, the FA24s can handle up to 400 horsepower like easily. And now everything that's been going on in the Subaru Mechanics Facebook group, everybody's been talking about the FA25 builds that these companies are doing, and they are able to handle a lot of power, and they're like actually like solid builds. I think that the FA platform is just so much more reliable in such a short span of time, whereas the EJ has been like this long process of like testing over time. And I think that what we have found is that the EJ just it's great for what it is, but at the end of the day, like it just doesn't stand up to what the needs are. And I think that the FA is showing that it can do that very quickly, what people want. So
yeah. What you got, Matt?
My caveat to that is why is Vermont Sports Car not using any of them?
Well, listen.
Maybe the turbo issue, man.
I'm just saying.
Listen.
Let's
Again,
be
to my
real
point,
here.
It's a pedigree. We know this engine inside and out as an industry. The EJ is just, and again, I'm not saying it's Mac, and I'm not saying Patrick is saying that either. He's saying there's a new generation, new kid on the block, but the EJ is not done yet, boys. Let me tell you, I will die on the hill.
I got to agree. Pat's right. Like there is a future with the FAs. I'm not.
There's a new kid on the block.
That.
There's a new kid on the block.
I would be surprised if Subaru put all their eggs in a 4-year-old engine. I'll just say that. I would be really surprised.
But here's the thing. Okay, that you're right. But like, okay, the Air Slayer, the Brattaroo, Project Midnight, all three of those cars aren't even a 2.5 block. They're 2.2 and 2 liters, and they're EJ platform.
Yeah,
and they're just monsters. Like, I think the only car that was, and I'd have to double check this. I think the only thing that used a newer engine was the open class rally car that they had. But I still think that was an EJ25.
Well, and here's a hot take. Maybe we're going back to the early days of the 2.2, how it was so reliable and so synonymous for having no head gasket issues and being like one of the best engines Subaru ever made. I think everyone knows the 2.2 NA, that thing's great, bulletproof. Well, I wonder if Subaru is taking that same pace, like you said, with everything that they've done with the Project Midnight. I mean, these are big projects. They're like 2.5. That's too many liters, man. We only need 2 liters, 2.5 or 2.2. Like, I wonder if almost, here's another conspiracy, Subaru is starting to reformulate that engine. Going back to, we've talked about in an earlier episode, Patrick, the Subaru Boxer, what was it, the Boxer 16? The 16-cylinder Boxer engine or whatever? Or was it 12-cylinder? I don't even remember now.
The F1 car?
Well, yeah, the F1 prototype engine. They tried to, and no one could make work right. They tried to make an engine too big. It's like, no, the Boxer engine maybe is just better suited for smaller applications, and you can max this thing out.
Well, also, Subaru didn't build that. So I feel like Italians should keep their hands off of anything flat and just stick to what they know. I think, there's a stay in your lane situation there. I think,
Where does Porsche come into this?
These Ferrari people are like, I don't know. They want the cylinders to go like this. I go get it.
So then what about the Germans and the Porsches?
Well, that's different. They're, it's different. The Italians, though, they don't
have you ever heard about how countries build cars and how the Germans, for example, look at, Porsche is a perfect example, how we have this rear-wheel drive, rear-engine car. We think it's going to be great. The first iterations of the 911s were hailed as being widowmakers. They would kill people because you put your foot down and the car would just spin out and go into a ditch. Nowadays, they perfected it through modern technology with traction control, tires that are 5 feet wide, all these things. They actually figured it out. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm teasing, but you get into a modern, like drive a GT3. If you drive a GT3 ever in your life,
I want to.
You will know what I'm talking about. It's transcendent. The way this car sticks to the road, it's unprecedented. It's like, how did they do it? How did they do it?
I want you to look at a picture of Paul Walker and say that again. I want you to think about what you just said. That man
you
was
can still
in
push
one
any
of
car
those.
past the limit. Hey, everyone says a Subaru is so planted, it's so great, all-wheel drive's amazing. Guess what? When you push a Subaru past its limit, there's no saving you. It's gone. Same thing. By the time you push that 911 GT3 past its point, it's gone. There's no saving it. Rest in peace. But to my point, that's how Germans build cars. They say, you know what? We have an idea. We're going to keep perfecting and making it work. Famously, Toyota, Japanese, they said, you know what? 6 years into the LFA, it's done. It's not good enough. They scrapped the entire project. I think everyone knows that story because the way Japanese build cars is A, B, C, D, W, start over. A, B, C, D, Q, start over. It's perfection from start to finish. We scrapped the entire project of the LFA. Nothing from the original LFA from 6 years actually made it to the production, the second generation. They actually learned from it, sure, but they wanted something and they were willing to keep fighting to get to something that was what they believe was perfect in a way. No offense to the Germans, they're like, well, we'll figure it out. We'll
Do you
make
guys
it.
play video games at all? Like,
Yeah.
I don't per se, but
so you're 100% spot on the way that they do things. Like Capcom, when they've made different Resident Evil games, you find out later there were fully developed, completely different games in these, whether it was Resident Evil 5, 6, 7, whatever. They're like, oh yeah, we already had that developed, but we just wanted to go in a different direction. We didn't think it was going to mesh well with our consumer base. It's the same exact thing, man. They'll do something and then just completely scrap it.
Yeah.
Kind of like when they released Mario 2 into the US, they made it less tough because they knew Americans wouldn't be able to eat it.
Yeah, exactly.
we're less patient. We're less patient.
No, you get a well, I guess that, but I guess we're also apparently not that technical.
Raph, were you around for Mario 2?
I'm not sure which one Mario 2 is.
Mario 2.
It was the one that didn't sell very well at all in the US.
That was NES,
probably
right?
why I didn't know about it.
Let me see.
Yeah. Mario had a huge jump leap. Luigi also had one. You basically jumped and they would basically flutter kick through the air, and then you could get a longer distance.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know if I ever played it.
Yeah, it was a very interesting game, but the Japanese version versus the American version is totally different.
Very different.
And
It came out in 1988, so
yeah. Probably didn't play it. I mean, I was around
born in
then.
87, so
I was around, but I played the first Mario. But
were you born in 87,
Sure.
Dave?
Yeah.
That's not real. I don't believe that. That's crazy.
I was born in 1987.
Oh my God. I was born in 95, dude. I feel like a baby. That's
I'm
insane.
just
a
gonna
baby.
shut up.
Yeah, you were born in 95.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's crazy, dude.
January 1st, baby. I was day
sick.
one.
Raph, I think we're the oldest two here.
Yeah.
That's insane. All right, Raph. You got to blow one up. Either the Baja or the Brat.
No.
Oh, man, that's a tough question.
Yeah.
That's a really tough one.
I don't know. For me personally, I got to say the Baja just because I love the Brat so much. I always, I saw one a long time ago and like, what the heck is that? It's got seats in the back. Never seen anything like that. And I don't know. The Brat's it's super cool. Not that the Baja's not cool, but the Brat is just, I don't know. It's like it's its own entity. And
it's the OG.
Yeah. It's just cool.
If they would make a Baja with the gull-wing T-top, like the Brat.
And the seats in the back.
And the seats
and
in the
back. Jump seats.
Yeah.
You got to have the jump seats.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see
which they couldn't legally
the one
do
that
anymore,
Paris,
unfortunately.
I see the one that Paris did too with her dad, with Bucky, and that one is just, dude, it's so awesome.
That
Love
was
it.
so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the one that was at Boxer Fest, that was sick too. They had I don't know if you were there, if you saw that one, but it was like a father-son project, and they did it in like the blue and tan color scheme, and then they had like a mini one there, and then they had one for the kid to drive, and they all matched, and he had like little Lego versions and stuff.
Nice.
It was cool.
That's nice.
Yeah.
The seats in those like a tax, like a tariff thing or something. Didn't they stuff seats back there to avoid?
What was it?
Yes,
Chicken tax?
chicken coop. Chicken tax.
Yeah.
Chicken coop tax. Yeah.
Yeah, what
It's
was
the
the
same
deal
thing.
with that?
Reason why Ford actually ships Transit Connect vans, or they got in trouble for this. Actually, they paid several $1 million, but Ford actually builds Transit Connect vans in Egypt. They
What?
ship them over here with doors with window glass in them and passenger seats in the back, and it's a passenger van. When it gets here, they take the doors off, they take the seats out, and they literally ship them back on a boat. And it was like, well, wait, that costs them more money. Yes, it does, but it actually is less than the taxes. So then they put doors with panel doors on it, for construction workers, plumbers, everyone. We don't want windows. And they convert them here to just a commercial vehicle, and they escape all the commercial vehicle tax loophole by shipping them here as a passenger van with windows and seats that they literally ship back and forth. They're literally shipping the same seats back and forth and doors with windows between Egypt and here. And that's actually saving them money. Let that settle in. They're saving money because of taxes.
I hate the IRS. Well, it's kind of like, you cut that part out. But it's like Converse, like Chuck Taylor's, you know how they have the fuzz on the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
So I think, maybe this is just made up, but I think they're able to classify them as slippers. Like it's technically a slipper because a certain amount of the sole is fuzzy. And
I could see that.
So they get to, there's like, again, maybe this is just made up, but a little like
it's a loophole
tax advantage. Yeah. I'm down. Makes them cheaper for me when I buy them.
Yeah. It just goes to show that like Americans will do anything to avoid tax.
As we should.
It's almost as if they should just get rid of it.
We'll throw tea into a harbor, whatever it takes. We really don't care.
Let's go, dude. I'm on board.
We're not paying taxes.
I mean, what I meant to say was I fully respect the federal government, and IRS is great.
We all do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Matt, I'm gonna give you bug eye or blob eye. You gotta blow one up.
Ooh, damn! He did you dirty,
dude. Wow, yeah, dude, he did. This is deleting one, right?
Delete.
One has to go.
Delete
from history forever.
It never existed.
The one on your shelf is gonna vaporize when you make this decision.
Not if I vaporize the other one.
Yeah.
See, it's very conflicting because there's a bug eye here, but I own a blob eye.
We wouldn't have the blob without the bug, though.
You wouldn't, and I would probably say that I would legitimately probably have to say that I would get rid of the blob only because the styling of these was different. The ProDrive headlights were just phenomenal.
Yes, facts.
But there's still some weird quirkiness behind it that I do like, but the bug eyes are the blob eyes are also hard to get parts for now too. So, I guess I would just say the blob eye. I'll keep the bug eye.
There was a correct answer, and that is it. So,
okay.
I'm just kidding.
I guess I'm going to deconvert my front end to a bug eye now.
Yeah. Listen, the bug eye taillights are awesome, and I would say the blob eye headlights are cool too. But
but the only difference between the bug eye and the blob eye taillights was the fact that there was this little half tiny circle that came down,
and the bug eye ones are just the red and white, whereas like the blob eyes, they added like yellow in the rear or whatever the way it looks.
Yeah, but that was just for the European ones, and then in the U.S.
we don't consider those people.
Yeah.
Solid red in the U.S.
All right.
Did you just say European? Get out of here.
I actually have 07 Outback Sport taillights on my wagon because they have the gray background rather than the just chrome. And it had a clear housing instead of the weird whatever. So cookie cutters.
I have one last question for you guys, and then we'll wrap this up. My question is for every one of you. I want you guys to think about this. When you guys go looking at Subarus, either on Marketplace or online, what is the first thing that shoots you a red flag? What is like, if you're reading the description and it says this, what is like, no shot am I buying this car? Like, I want like your initial just like red flag. This is like a no-go.
Are we comparing it based on the photos that we see?
So I'm going off of, you're just reading the description, right? And it's got something in there that you're like, no way. Because pictures can be deceiving, right? I feel like, obviously, something looks real bad, but I feel like with Subarus, right? They all kind of look okay, but then as you read the description, the picture becomes clear, right? And it's like, I'll start it off. Mine is when they say, 180K on body, 60K on engine. The second that they give me an engine mileage, I know one thing is true. They have no documentation. They have no idea how many miles are on that engine. And I believe half the time they just make it up. I think it's the original engine and they're just saying it's got 60K because it's so common that people do that. So I feel like, I bought my first Subaru I bought with this exact problem. The guy told me there was like 60K on it. The body had 220K on it. I get the car home. It is a rot box. It's got the blow off valves. It's making all these crazy noises. Ends up that the differential drops out of it as the subframe just collapsed on itself. Just absolute crap box I bought. And I just, ever since then, my red flag is like, if you got to tell me what kind of mileage is on this engine, then I know for sure that you have no idea. So, Matt, what is your red flag?
It's really tough because I look at the pictures before I read the description. So like if I'm not going off of the comparison here.
Well, like I'll give you guys some options too. So things that are commonly seen is fresh rebuild, just needs a tune, previous owner installed, never launched, only driven weekends, stage.
Okay.
They give you a stage number.
I guess, realistically, any of those would be a red flag, but the biggest one would, I think would have to be, fresh rebuild.
Yeah, that one scares me too. I don't like that.
The only reason I ask because of the description versus the picture is because, somebody sent me one the other day. They were like, "Yo, you like Subarus and rally stuff? I saw this and thought of you." And they sent me this, and it was a 2004 WRX STI. Okay. But somehow it had a EJ 207 in it. But he said that he's like, it's a Subaru it's the 2004 ST, or no, it was a Bug-Eye. It was a 2002 STI with an EJ 207. And I'm like, well, they didn't have that in the US in 2002, but okay.
Yeah.
And then it said something about
the
STI. Yeah. Well, yeah, but it wasn't because it was, left-hand drive. But it also had the 2-pot, 4-pot brakes on it, which didn't happen until 2007. And so it's just like, I'm like looking at the description and looking at the picture going, there's so many things that don't match here. I don't know if I want this car.
Yeah. I definitely feel that. I actually, is just like this little side adventure here. A buddy of mine sent me this 06 WRX yesterday, and he wanted me to do the thing where like I hit the guy on like the low ball, and then he sweeps in like the hero, And it's so funny because I offered this guy like $2,000 or something, or like $1,500, and he immediately was like, kick rocks, you don't know anything, like whatever. He starts freaking out. But by the end of it, we were like friends because I told him that I do a lot with Subaru, and then he's talking to me about his Mustang and was sending me Mustang pictures and whatever. But initially off the bat, he was so mad. But I told him, this is the car, right? And the conversation that we had was, I said, what's up with the quarter panel rot? And he goes, there is none. And then I zoomed in on the fact that the quarter panel is not only discolored, but there's clearly rust underneath the gas cap here. And his response to me was like, that's not rust. You don't know what you're looking at. And I was just like, This right, that's a red flag right there. Like this thing is like, but again, this was another one of those like, yeah, engine was definitely redone. It's got low miles. Don't worry about it. He said 186K on it, has a check engine light for the cams, right? Drives perfect. So
Wait.
If it had no
right
rust,
there,
that would be $10,000 worth more out here in Colorado. $10,000 more.
so that
because it
right
had no
there,
rust.
though, that actually, I should have said that, right? Has code blank, runs fine.
yeah.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah, anything that's like no or no check engine light just needs O2 sensor or like some random thing like that,
How do you know it needs an O2 sensor?
Yeah, O2 sensor light comes on intermittently. Like Dave, what's your red flag?
You ready for it?
Yeah.
Mechanic special.
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm
Dave's
out. I'm out.
Dave's
What
like-
mechanic? Who mechanic? You call yourself a mechanic?
Yeah.
Really? My Uncle Teddy's a mechanic. Really? Huh. Yeah, he worked on like old Chevelles and stuff back in the day. He was a wizard. He used to tune carburetors. Okay. Yeah, he rebuilt my whole 2018 STI. Huh. Did he now? Huh.
See, I think that phrase could go one of two ways. It's a mechanic special, meaning good luck, have fun, or mechanic worked on it, old school guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, JDM is a big red flag for me. I'll just say it. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to knock JDM stuff, but the minute you say freshly JDM swapped, I'm like, so you bought an engine for $600 that was supposedly pulled out of a 2002 WRX with only 500 miles, because apparently you were told a story that in Japan, people they'll only drive their cars for 500 miles. They don't even do an oil change. And then they scrap the engine and they scrap the whole car because Japan is weird like that. I've heard these stories. I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, yeah, so this engine's been sitting on the shelf in a climate controlled environment with oil kept inside of it for the last 20 years. Just waiting for you to buy it. And guess what? I'm going to ship it all the way from Japan to you in the United States for $600. It's a great deal. I promise you. And then you look at the fucking invoice and it says Louisville, Kentucky. You're like, did I just get hosed? Yeah. A guy just bought a junkyard engine for $500 and took $1,200 from you.
Yeah.
That's what happened. It's not JDM at all.
Sounds awfully. Sounds like. Tell me on the doll where they hurt you.
Yeah.
I've seen this from customers. It pains me.
I believe it.
They buy a car from someone and they're like, I spent $12,000 on this car. I'm like, the car's worth about $3,000.
It was $1,100 too much.
I got burned by a buddy of mine in the Subaru community. We're still very close, and he had a guy who had a shop. There was a Spec B Legacy there, and he was like, hey, the customer didn't want the car. They left it there. It needs an engine. He's like, if you order an engine, my buddy will put it in. I said, okay, cool. I said, well, I want to do like the twin scroll JDM engine. Does he know how to put that in? Guy was like, no problem. Get the engine here. I'll put it in. No big deal. Right. This is all in like Delaware. It's like not even near me. So I'm like, cool. I buy the shell. Engine gets shipped in. I order it in. Shows up at the shop. The guy goes, I don't know how to put that in. I was like, what? I was like, I wouldn't have ordered a JDM engine if you told me you didn't know how to put it in. And the guy was like, yeah, he's like, I just thought that it would just plug in like the harness and stuff. He's like, I didn't know I had to rewire stuff and whatever. He's like, I'm not doing that. I was like, are you joking?
Change camshaft sprockets, crankshaft sprockets. Yeah.
Yeah. I ended up
repin half the ECU.
Yeah.
I never got the car. I just ended up selling the shell, and like he just kept the JDM engine. I had to figure it out. It was like the most insane thing ever. It was like, Ben, what is your red flag?
Well, we kind of touched on most of them. Needs O2 sensor.
Yeah.
Needs a tune.
Just needs O2 sensor. Just
dude, every time it's misfiring, just needs an O2 sensor. But here's a good one. Comes with parts. They'll tell you this catastrophic part that this failure that it's got. Needs head gaskets, but they're included in the sale. Oh, why didn't you say so sooner up in the ad? I'll be right over.
Oh.
That pisses me off. Yeah. Needs an engine. Comes with a short block. Okay.
Yeah,
I hate that.
I love when it says lost interest. You know, like
That just means that they haven't shotgunned enough parts at it
Yeah,
yet.
the purse is empty. Now
Yeah.
that, or if I see Godspeed coilovers in the description, I'll pass that over.
Oh God.
I'll take
That's a good one.
Wait, listen, I'll take those over max speeding rods.
Well, I was gonna say I'll take the Godspeeds over max speeding rods, because at least the people that are buying max speeding rods know their ass, and they know that you know their ass. When it's Godspeed, they're like, no, these are like basically BC racing, dude. Like these are legit. These
like
are
buying
Olin's
Raceland.
essentially. They're made in the same factory.
You bought you bought $500 coilovers. What do you expect?
I was gonna say, Dave, on that point, I think we've evolved as a human race, because I haven't seen anybody put Roycelands on anything in a while.
Yeah, they probably went up in price. That's probably why.
Yeah,
We're listening. They're listening.
it's been a long time since I saw a set of Racelands.
Well,
God
I'm sure
damn it, dude.
I'm sure the VW community is still all over them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they're still
Those
screwing some
VR6s.
16-year-old kid out there. You know what I mean? They're still
Yeah.
getting some 16-year-old kid who goes on Temu and is like, wait, I can get a full coilover set for my car for $600. Yeah, you can. It's horrible. I promise you. It's horrible.
Raph, what is your red flag?
I'll take it has no engine for 200, Pat.
Yeah,
Just needs motor.
Yeah.
Needs a motor.
I don't.
No biggie.
Yeah,
Just
I don't
needs
ever
motor.
go on these
You sure about that?
platforms to look for cars because I can't afford another car. So I don't
Honestly,
really-
you know what my biggest red flag might be? It's on Marketplace.
yeah. I was actually looking for a transmission for Luke's car that I thought I needed. And this guy was like, oh yeah, it's good or whatever. Cause I had somebody else tell me like what I needed to look for. And so I was messaging this guy, messaging, and he kept like not responding. And then like one day he's like, oh, it's sold. And I'm like, what have I been trying to do? I've been trying to buy it from you and you just sell it out from under me, but worked out better because I would have spent money on something we didn't need. So that was good.
Oh man,
It just needed it needed. So my son, who's not a mechanic or anything, he was only 18 at the time, but he like when he was driving his Outback, because he has a 3.6R to 2010.
Hell yeah.
And
Easy 36.
But anyway, so he was driving it and there was like, it felt like the transmission was slipping, but he started doing a bunch of research and found out that misfires can cause a simulated feeling of a transmission that's slipping. And so he changed all the spark plugs by himself, except for like, I helped him a little bit. Yeah, that was awesome. I was super impressed, but
Good for
we
him.
bought all the spark plugs. We bought OEM spark plugs. He changed them all out and that went away. And it started doing it again, but it's we know he still needs coil packs too. We just haven't been able to get them.
Yeah.
So
famously,
we'll
Rob, don't ever get aftermarket coil packs. Only OEM.
No, we know
Only
that.
OEM.
Yeah.
Everyone here knows only OEM.
I think,
But they're like
I told you
$95
that.
a piece. So it's
Yeah.
it's kind of tough. So we'll get them all.
They're expensive when you have
replaced
6 of
eventually.
them, right?
Yeah, exactly. We'll get them all replaced eventually, but we know we need to do that. And then he has like, it's so when we bought it, it had 199,000 miles on it. He's got 220 on it now, and like his check engine light's always coming on. There's stuff that's going on with it that we kind of know what needs to be done, but it's just a matter of money. And I've been laid off for 9.5 months, so and he's in college. So we haven't been able to do much. But kind of like what you said, it has a check engine light, but it drives fine. It does actually drive pretty well for what it is and how many
That's
miles.
6 cylinders. I always say 6-cylinder engines can literally on a Subaru, they can drop 2 cylinders, and guess what? You still have a 4-cylinder.
Yeah,
You're good. You're good.
Listen,
it's
Raph,
still doing pretty good.
You would fit perfectly on Marketplace. You could sell just like that.
Yeah, exactly. Check engine light and some others, but runs fine.
Needs a coil
Runs
pack.
fine, runs fine.
Here's the parts. Yeah.
Got that 4-cylinder mod for that Subi Rumble.
It needs coil packs, but it comes with coil packs. The original
Put them on
ones,
Temu.
not new ones.
$200 for all.
car wasn't running right. checked engine, had 6 coil packs, knew it's a Subaru, removed 2. The car now runs
I
great.
fixed it. It's great.
Yeah.
That's how you
Now-
fix a misfiring 6-cylinder. Just remove 2 cylinders.
Yeah.
There you go. We should try it.
Yeah. Now, do you guys think that there's anything that's a green flag?
Yes.
Like buy it right now.
I am a big fan of comes with new tires. That's a green flag for me because
yeah.
nobody ever spends money on tires, dude. You know they take care of that thing if they got
I'm
tires.
moving town at the end of the month. I'll wait till the end of the month and message them 2 days before they're supposed to leave. You still leaving? You still got the car?
Yeah. Oh,
You wanna do a deal?
the other
Yeah, I don't.
the other
know
thing
if I
I'll
could-
say is not directed towards anybody, just the fact that like I've seen this firsthand. Some great deals come out of divorces. There's always like somebody trying to
Yes.
sell something, either the
That's
wife
true.
gets stuck with the husband's car or like they have to split the assets, so
That's
they
a
got to
good
get rid of
point.
it, or
I've heard
like
about that.
dude, my dad got 4 kayaks out of a divorce once. Like my a buddy of mine just got a car out of a divorce for like $1,000. Like it's just like I feel like sometimes it just right place, right time, I guess.
That's how a lot of Vipers transact. Straight up,
Yeah.
dude.
I believe that.
I'm in the Viper groups, and a bunch of them, they're like, yeah, I bought this from some lady who got in a divorce from her husband.
I knew a girl that I dated for a little bit, and she got divorced, and she got her husband's. He had like the Bumblebee Camaro, the yellow one,
Wow.
and he did a bunch of stuff to it because I remember she let me drive it one time, and we were going like I don't know, like maybe 35 or something, and I went to go press the gas like I would in my car, because I had a Kia at the time. And I went to go press the gas to accelerate, and the tires just started spinning. We didn't go anywhere, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this thing has so much horsepower! It was crazy."
Was it right in front of his house, Raph, with her in the car? Like,
that would have been nice.
Yeah, it's a car, bro. I love it.
Yeah, no, but she ended up having to sell that, unfortunately. But yeah, it was pretty nice.
Oh man. Yeah, those Chargers are sick, especially the old ones. They had so much power, and I love those Bumblebee ones. They were sick.
Yeah, I don't know anything that I would read that would just tell me I'm gonna buy this right now. The only no, you know what what it would be?
And it's a lady.
No, it would be a price that's actually normal.
Yeah.
Price,
but then
right?
you start to question
one,
why
two,
they're
three,
not
four.
delusional. You start to think, why is this Subaru owner not out of his mind? There's something going on here. It's like
I'm either buying a money pit or I'm buying a parts car. One of the two.
true.
I love when I
that's
see
fair.
this one. If I see any variation of selling for my mom who doesn't have Facebook, that's what I want. I want grandma's car that's not on. She doesn't even know how to use Kelly Blue Book if she ain't got a Facebook. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
This car's 25 years old. It's probably worth like $30. I'll sell it for $1,000. Like, all right, let's do it. And grandma did all the maintenance on that car, dude. You know it.
I just like
I'm going to do
just
all these
envisioning
things now
Ben-
for my next listing right now.
I'm just
I'm
envisioning
selling
Ben
for my
rolling up.
grandma.
Ben's rolling up in the hoodie, and he's like, "Grandma, this car ain't worth more than $500. I'm telling you right now, straight up. You don't got to check the blue books. I'm telling you, I know the price.
I'll get you $1,000, grandma. I got you.
Yeah.
The other
because then you give her $1,000 thinking she's getting a deal.
Well, the other cool thing about these people, it's like I've actually heard people say, "Oh, I want to fix these things before I sell it." These are the people who will actually dump the $3,000 to do all these different services before they sell the car. Because they're like, "Oh, I got to make sure that I get all the money out," or just
Yes.
that's like the way they think. Where
I
everybody
gotta do
else
the
is like,
next
"Oh, it's got a
person
problem.
right. I
I'm
gotta
going
do
to
the next
dump it."
person right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I feel like as a human you should do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the problem is no one gets their value back. So you know what? It's doing a disservice. Honestly, I always tell people if you have a car you're selling, you put $1,000 into it. It's not worth $1,000 more.
Yeah, absolutely. But then it's like
With rare exceptions. Like let's say if the car doesn't even
That's true.
start, you
That's
spend $1,000 and you might actually get more than $1,000 if the car actually starts now. But especially if you can drive it onto a dealer lot, no tow truck, famously, big side plug to this. If you drive a car that's beat down, doesn't matter, running on 4 cylinders out of 6, drive it to a dealer lot, they won't even look at it. The fact that you drove up and you didn't actually have to tow it there, they'll give you a lot more money than you think. I've had some people I know off the record screw CarMax on trade-ins. CarMax had to figure it out. Now, obviously, I'm shamelessly saying CarMax, they make enough money. They'll be fine. They probably took that car and just threw it to auction anyway. But I know some people who have traded cars in and gotten way more than they should have. So
Yeah.
I hope CarMax doesn't watch this podcast.
Yeah.
I had a buddy who had a dealership, and when he would take cars in for trade, the very first thing that he would do while one of his people, he would be like, "Okay, let me just go take a quick look at the car." He would actually go put a code scanner on it to see if it had the codes cleared recently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if it had the codes cleared recently, well, yeah, but this was, mom and pop dealer. So, he would check it and he'd be like, yeah. And he'd come back and he would just he would make, I forget what his excuse was, but he would come up with something and he was like, "Oh, I ran a report and I found this." And they're like, "Oh," he's like, "Yeah, well, this is what I can offer." He would offer him way less because they cleared codes on it.
Smart man.
You know what I was going to say is the other red flag I forgot about is when somebody goes, car needs all these things. If it doesn't sell, I'll just fix it myself and then I'll sell it for what it's really worth.
That's a good one.
Fix it, sell it yourself.
I see that one all the time.
Price of 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Make offer.
I love when people say that, though. They're like, "I have everything. I just don't want to put it together. If it doesn't sell, I'll just put it together and sell it for what it's worth," or whatever. I'm like, what is this tactic? What are you trying to sell? You telling me that the project's ready to go and you just don't want to do it, or I don't understand. It's
you could also be telling me the project sucks.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Yeah.
I did see somebody one time selling a car. They had pictures, right? They had a fully spec built IAG block. They had a 6-speed swap. It still had all the junkyard numbers where they wrote on it and stuff like that. They had all of this stuff laying around, right? And they were like, "Yeah, I don't feel like putting it together. Come by my project," or my loss, your gain.
It's a little different. That smells differently,
It does, but it still makes me question, why did they give up? You have everything there. You're it's literally sitting at the point where it's okay, that's a weekend and a case of beer with your buddies. Why aren't you done?
Correction. I gotta correct you. I'm sorry. That's you. A weekend for you. That some people are so mechanically inept that they can't. I'll say
fair.
this. My old man growing up could not hammer a nail into a wall. Literally, I watched him.
Okay, that's fair.
He missed the nail 5 times, and then he literally stormed off. Told my mom to hang that picture, and my mom walked over and just first strike, boom, nail in a wall. I was like,
okay,
all right,
so
Ma.
that's the car. That's the car guy that isn't actually a car guy.
Yes. So you like those guys, right? You actually benefit, like you said. That's a mutual benefit now.
Okay, that guy's the green. That's the green. That's the green flag. There's my green flag.
Yeah, he's an idiot. He's an idiot.
I just want to bless you guys with this this quick story of my tech that works for me, a young kid. This is an amazing marketplace thing that just happened literally this week.
No.
He's a big dirt biker, right? He's got this dirt bike that he has in the back of his F-150, and he was telling me, he's like, "What do you think about this car?" And he's showing me a 2.5 hybrid engine and a blob eye that was all wired weird, and there's all this crazy nonsense. I was like, no go, don't do it.
No.
Right? Then he comes to me and he shows me an Audi and a 2004 that's a B4 B5 hybrid engine in it, and I was like, no, you're like a C-Tech. You don't know what you're doing. No shot. Don't get involved. Dude. So here's what ends up happening, right? Tells us all that he's going to look at a 2012 S4 supercharged Audi, right? Thing's got crazy wheels on it. It's slammed on its balls. It's at a mechanic shop. Car doesn't run. The guy claims all it needs is a fuel pump to run. And Yeah. So we're all telling him, we're like, dude, don't go. Like
an
your dirt
Audi.
bike the Audi was listed for like $4,000. His dirt bike is worth like $6,000. And we're like, what are you doing? He ends up being like, I'm going to go and just look at it. Right. He goes, he finds out that the car was towed there. The mechanic shop wants it gone. It's been sitting there. He didn't have the money to pay them to even look at it. Right. This kid bangs on the fuel pump, car starts. So he trades him the dirt bike for the Audi, right? Straight trade, gets the Audi, takes it home. Immediately realizes that the Audi has an exhaust problem and it's a 14-hour job to take the whole exhaust apart. And then on top of that, it's burning oil from the PCV, which is in the valley of the engine.
Yup.
So he gets super deep in this car, right? He does all the cat work. He gets all the cats out of the car and like basically, messes up one of the bolts for the exhaust. Now the car is filling with exhaust fumes, right? The PCV doesn't actually fix the oil problem. And now the car is running like horribly. It's misfiring. It's all this craziness. He talks the guy into trading him the Audi back for the dirt bike, right?
Yes.
Because now the
Good
car's
kid.
running.
Smart kid.
But this is where it gets crazy, right? He comes to me and he goes, I got this deal. Sweet. I'm going to go trade the Audi back for the dirt bike. He goes, now I can go hang out with my friend. I said, what are you talking about? He goes, I don't actually own the dirt bike. I was like, what? He goes, yeah, he goes, it's my buddy's dirt bike. He goes, I was paying him. He has the title. It's not even my dirt bike yet. He traded a dirt bike he doesn't even own for this S4. He put like $800 into this car trying to fix it, right? He's avoiding his buddy going riding dirt bikes because he doesn't have the bike. So he does the trade back, right? Gets the dirt bike back. And he goes, yeah. And he goes, and now I go, the car's filling with smoke though. Like, do you think you're going to hear from this guy? He goes, well, it doesn't matter. I signed a bill of sale. I go, oh, you have the bill of sale? He goes, well, no, he has the bill of sale. I was like,
What?
do you have a copy of the bill of sale? He goes, no, but we both know that we signed it. Dude, I almost died right there. I was like, what? What is happening right now?
Dude, I just got AIDS hearing that, bro.
Dude, so get this. So from the first transaction, the Audi guy has the bill of sale from when he got the dirt bike, right? He was riding this dirt bike around, no title. The Audi guy has the second bill of sale for the dirt bike that he still doesn't own. Explain. I just like, now he's riding around with the dirt bike in the back of his truck and it's blowing my mind that he like did this to begin with. And I can't fathom, like, this is marketplace though. This is the craziness that goes on. Like this red flag of a car. You go out there, you bang on it, starts, here's a dirt bike. Like what is happening? Like it's just insanity. So I just wanted to share that. That has been blowing my mind all week. Every time he comes to new information, I'm just like, what?
That's a good one.
Well,
Dave, do we have the same cup?
I know. Oh, very close.
Oh,
It's probably the same cup.
that kept my box.
This one I got branded from a Avalanche game I went to.
Nice. All I saw was like the top, and I was like, that looks like mine, but mine's the Subaru cup.
Well, I just want to thank all of you for coming. I want to thank all of you for putting up with my camera issues. I know that this was a long one for sure. I appreciate everybody for being in on the email chain so we could get this to happen.
Heck yeah.
Cool. That was awesome.
I look forward to seeing all you guys hopefully at Boxer Fest Raft, maybe, no?
I'm just going to sync out of the picture for that one because I won't be here.
Yeah. Oh, nobody. Okay.
I won't be here, unfortunately.
Well, I really hope I get to meet both of you in person. Matt, we've probably met in person at Snowdrift somehow, but
we will at some point.
I met Matt. I was one of the first people to meet Matt actually because I was like,
technically,
what the is that thing?
Yeah.
I was so quintessentially East Coast. I was like, what is that thing just like in your face? And luckily I found out you're equally from Pennsylvania. So I was like, wait a minute. This guy, okay, he gets me.
Yeah, I wish you guys all the best with your shows. I love the content that all of you put out. And I hope that we all get to do Subaru things for, going forward in the future.
Years. Decades to come.
You guys should definitely keep an eye out for Dave and I, what we're doing at Boxer Fest. We're giving out, you know what? I wonder if I have it real quick.
The fishing rod?
Yeah, did you see that?
The one
That's
that Bucky,
sick.
the one that
Dude.
Bucky wants.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
sick.
That thing is gnarly.
I secretly want a Simply Subaru's branded one now, kind of, because I love fishing. So I
Listen,
kind of want one of those rods now. Those things look beautiful.
Dave, we can make it happen, dog. It's gonna happen.
I need a branded Simply Subaru's fishing rod. Like that'd be so
Just-
sick.
All I ask is that somebody keeps pushing Bucky to race me in my Vivio.
There you go.
Dude, I want to see Bucky
his
on the
justice.
ARA circuit so bad.
I want to see Bucky and you Vivio versus Vivio. Okay, mono
He needs
mono.
I told him I wanted to race his Justy. I told him at Southern Ohio.
No,
I told
No.
him at
I want
Boone.
Vivio versus Vivio, dude. It'd be amazing.
Raf, can you get my fishing pole on SubaruGear.com or what's up? With that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we need these.
Can we make this yeah, this should be a thing. This should be a thing.
I ordered a Cobalt fishing pole with this exact reel, so it's going to be the blue with the gold, and then it's going to have the logos on it with the gold string. So this
Nice.
is like pretty much exactly what it's going to look like. And then that was when Bucky reached out and said that he wanted one. And that's when I just kind of like real quick was like, hell yeah, brother. Like, let's do it next year. Like we'll do a Bucky edition. And, that's when I came up with this thing. Let me put this up. Yeah.
Very nice.
That's
That's
tight.
awesome.
I think it's sick, dude.
Right? That would be so sick. I think
The
that's
livery is
awesome.
perfect, man.
So yeah, I got the thought like last year, and I was like, man, it would be cool if like, because I kept seeing all the Subaru gear that you were posting, and I was like, everybody who has these outdoor Subarus, I'm sure they go fishing, and I'm sure that everybody wants something that matches their car, and everybody drives a Subaru. So like, what if they had a Subaru themed pole that just like, you could have mounted on the back, like the blue and gold, it's iconic, like it just made sense. So.
Nice.
Dude, that old
job.
school Forester green on a fishing rod would look sick. Come on. you
Yes,
guys all know what I'm
dude.
talking about. That old school Forester
SF.
green.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
You know what? We're gonna do a fishing rod with a check engine light that blinks while you're fishing, and then it goes,
We
Yeah.
don't own Volkswagens.
or it's like
Yeah, I
it's
know.
solid, and then as you get a fish and the tension builds, it starts blinking. It's like pull it in.
Here-
You know it's
Here's what
cylinder
you have to do,
3
Patrick.
just
the handle
misfiring.
comes apart. The handle's 3 parts. Take it apart, and you can replace your head gaskets.
Boom! I like that.
And
Well,
the first
interchangeable head
thing
gaskets.
and the first thing to fail is all of the string rings, the ringlands.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we gotta somehow play with those things. There's plenty of ideas there.
Is
Just
any
call it the defunct rod.
what is the next event you guys are gonna be at, and like where can people find your stuff?
I have no idea what the next
Yeah,
event is.
I'm not going to be at any events for the rest of the year.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess the season kind of dies right now. This is like Boxer Fest kind of ends it, and then it's like dead. So
Yeah, kind of, sort of. I mean, for me, obviously, military is going to take over the rest of my year. But the season 3 of the Gearbusters podcast is going to start airing here in August. And then I'm going to roll them out throughout the rest of the off season. Hoping to, sell all of the livery spots on the import Vivio that we're doing. Always looking for other like-minded people for that, but hoping to make 100 Acre Wood with the car for 2027. If we can't get to 100 Acre Wood, definitely going to try and make it to either. If I can't make 100 Acre Wood, I should say I'm going to definitely get to Southern Ohio.
hell yeah. Well, you guys can check out all their podcasts wherever you get your podcasts, and
Yes.
you guys will have
Cool.
to follow everybody here and definitely
And
keep up with.
we'll be out in Overland
everything going
Expo Mountain West, because just
Very nice.
shameless shout out to anyone who is in the Colorado area or will be at the Overland Expo Mountain West. We'll be out there this time for the first year. We got literally bombarded or rather berated by our customers for the last 2 years that we weren't there, and they got kind of let's call it irate with us. So we're humbly there this year, and we're looking forward to it because it's going to be a full 3-day event and just everything Subaru. So make sure if you're in the area to stop by and hang out, and we'll in classic fashion, it's going to be warmer, hopefully not, but we're anticipating warmer weather, so we'll have the full water mister setups with also inflatable couches, and we're also bringing icy pops, freezy pops, otter pops, whatever you want to call them. We're bringing those this year, so we're trying to help people keep cool minded if we can.
Yeah,
Nice.
we gotta watch the camera equipment. I feel like
Yes.
our cameras have
learned
been
that.
just getting absolutely thrashed. Like we STPR, my camera's full of just dust and dirt and
Raleigh, Colorado killed my other lens, by the way, for anyone who wants to know. I'm on a brand new lens tonight. If anyone watched last episode that I was on, apologies if I was a little blurry. That was not technical difficulties. That was a limitation of hardware because my lens, I think, is Raleigh, Colorado out, to say the least. So maybe next year we might have to put our camera in a Ziploc bag or something. I don't know.
Yeah, when I turn mine on and the lens goes in and out, I could just hear it. It's like, and I can just see the dust. I'm like,
Mine didn't even move. When I turned my camera on, mine didn't move, and it gave me an error, said that the lens wasn't attached to the camera. I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Sorry, I can't replace lenses with full send foundation.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate all you guys, and we'll
Likewise.
catch you guys on the next one.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Thanks for
Yep,
putting this
thanks for
together.
having me.
Anytime.
All right. Y'all have a good night.
That's a wrap on part 2. Big thanks to Dave from Simply Subarus, Matt Gold from Drop a Gear Industries, Ben from Dirt Subies, and Raph from the Subi and You podcast for surviving the lightning round, the Delete One dilemmas, and the Marketplace trauma dump. Follow their shows wherever you get your podcasts. Keep an eye out for what they're up to next, and we'll catch you on the next wave.